you ready for the best news about your favorite movies and series? Well, great, because we've got info on Super Mario Bros. 2, the new Star Wars movies and series, and the exact release date of Five Nights at Freddy's. You can also expect new impressions of the Joker sequel, casting news on Deadpool 3 and Blade, as well as lots of new series on Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and Batman. Just last week, we got a first look at the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The atmospheric image showed the iconic pizzeria, where a large part of the events will take place, as well as Freddy Fazbear himself, standing next to a child. Now, there is new info about the release of the horror movie. Those responsible surprisingly announced that they are planning a double release for the game adaptation. In concrete terms, this means that Five Nights at Freddy's will be screened as usual in theaters on October 27, 2023, but will also be available on the US streaming service Peacock at the same time. The same approach has already been chosen for the horror flicks Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, which are also distributed by Universal Pictures. Such a practice of day and date releases caused a notable stir in 2021. When Warner Bros. Decided to release all of the year's movies in both streaming and theaters at once due to the pandemic. At the time, there was a lot of criticism, especially from cinema operators. But considering the potentially empty movie theaters, one could understand the choice in a way. With Five Nights at Freddy's, of course, that's not the reason. Instead, the strategic goal will be to further push the Peacock streaming service and gain subscribers. Originally, a film adaptation of the popular horror games around the creepy animatronic characters was held out in prospect by Warner Bros. Back in 2015, but the project was eventually passed on to Blumhouse and Universal Pictures, who wrapped up filming on April 3rd. The official release date is now October 27, 2023. What would you like to see in the Freddy movie? Are you going to watch it directly on the streaming service, or do you want to enjoy the thrill in the movie theater? Let us know your plans in the comments down below. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are certainly the focus of attention in Deadpool 3. Nevertheless, we are looking forward to the return of two more beloved characters which have now been announced. We're talking about Morena Baccarin and Stefan Kapicic. Baccarin already played the fiancée of the titular character Wade Wilson as Vanessa in Deadpool and Deadpool 2. In addition to the Marvel films, she has also appeared in the DC series Gotham and was heard on The Flash as the voice of the computer Gideon. Stefan Kapicic, meanwhile, embodies the X-Men character Colossus in the Deadpool universe. We are particularly interested to see how he interacts with his X-Men colleague Wolverine. After all, Logan's serious nature is somewhat different from that of the peaceful giant. In addition to Baccarin and Kapicic, we will also see Karen Sony as the cab driver Dopinder and Leslie Uggams as Blind Al again in Deadpool 3. The cast of Marvel's Blade has also been expanded by a familiar name. According to a report by Deadline, leading man Mahershala Ali is now joined by actress Mia Goth. Genre lovers know her mainly from horror flicks like Suspiria, X, and Pearl, where her performance has always been a highlight for many. However, details about her role are not yet known. While Blade is currently slated for a theatrical release on September 6, 2024, Deadpool 3 is scheduled to be released on November 8, 2024. The Star Wars celebration recently took place in the British capital, London. As anticipated, some news about upcoming Star Wars movies and series were announced at the annual event, which is considered the biggest gathering around the popular franchise. A new film that is to be set almost 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker attracted the most attention. As Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy confirmed, Rey will play the lead role in this one. However, with respect to the moderately popular sequel trilogy with the character, this is rather controversial among fans. The main focus will be on the rebuilding of the Jedi Order, in which Rey will play an essential part. It is already known that actress Daisy Ridley will once again take on her role. Ms. Marvel director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is to be the director of the film. In addition, Kennedy announced plans to make one film each with Logan and Indiana Jones 5 director James Mangold and Star Wars The Clone Wars director Dave Filoni. The first is to revolve around the very first Jedi, while Filoni will focus on the New Republic. Besides the three movies, there is also news about Star Wars series. One highlight, for example, is the first teaser for Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson, which was published online immediately after its premiere. The next series is Star Wars The Acolyte. Showrunner Leslie Headland revealed that her series will be a cross between the Disney spectacle Frozen and the bloody Tarantino film Kill Bill. She also added that people should be braced for things they haven't seen before in any live-action project. The series is set for release next year. There is considerably less information about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Although there were first shots from the series, there are hardly any other further announcements. At least the shooting of Skeleton Crew is said to be completed, and we can look forward to a premiere later this year. Not only new, but also already existing series partly received new updates. For example, a second season of the anthology series Star Wars Visions, with a total of 9 episodes, will be released in early May. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi and Star Wars The Bad Batch will also receive another season. So, in summary, there was a lot of news from this year's Star Wars celebration, though it wasn't all that detailed. What news were you most excited about, and what are your thoughts on the new movie starring Rey? We are curious to hear your opinions. While the Super Mario Bros. Movie is breaking all kinds of records and the ending raises interesting questions, many people want to know one thing above all. What are the prospects for a Super Mario Bros. Movie 2? Chris Meledandri, the studio chief of Illumination, was asked by Bloomberg about plans regarding a sequel. The answer speaks for itself. He is currently not allowed to talk about it. For us, that translates to, of course, sequels are to be expected. Considering the studio's previous approach of continuing hits like Despicable Me or The Minions, this is hardly surprising given the huge success of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. One of the movie's highlights is surely Bowser, played by Jack Black. Black also talked to GameSpot about the future of the franchise. He doesn't see it as a given that Bowser will return as the bad guy for a second part. Instead, though, he could team up with Mario and the others against an even bigger villain, Wario. And who should embody him? Well, none other than The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal. We could easily imagine worse things for Super Mario Bros. 2. Parent company Warner Bros. Merges HBO Max and Discovery Plus into a single offering. Many new series have now been announced at a big press event for the new Max streaming service. Fans of the 2 iconic Gremlin movies can look forward to an animated series called Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai, for which a first teaser trailer has also been published. The US release date is May 23, 2023. Following the recent announcement that a new Game of Thrones series about Aegon the Conqueror is in the works, another project is about to follow. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, will be a series about the legendary knight Dunk and his squire Egg, whose adventures have already been reported many times in the books. A release date has not yet been revealed. Batman fans also enjoyed the first teaser for the series The Penguin with Colin Farrell, which promises the same dark atmosphere as The Batman with Robert Pattinson. The series is set for release in 2024. Probably the biggest sensation was caused by the official first teaser for the new Harry Potter series. This means that it is finally confirmed that the 7-season remake of the books is on its way. We are still waiting with great excitement for the casting process. The recasting of the iconic roles of Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint will certainly be a difficult task. Just recently, snapshots of the filming of Joker Folie were leaked, granting a glimpse behind the scenes. They included leading actress Lady Gaga, who was seen for the first time with her complete outfit, as well as hints of an appearance by Harvey Dent, alias Two-Face. Now, more pictures of the Joker sequel came out. Shooting on the sequel to the most successful R-rated film of all time was officially wrapped up last week. Director Todd Phillips shared 2 new images that complete this month-long shoot. Featured are the lead actors Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. While Gaga is shown as Harley Quinn with smudged makeup and peroxide blonde hair, we get to see Phoenix in a shot from below, where he wears one of his signature suits. In the caption, Phillips expresses his gratitude to the 2 actors and the entire cast and crew, who, according to the director, are among the best the film industry currently has to offer. Phillips will now crawl into a cave and put everything together, meaning, of course, that the post-production phase is now underway. In addition to the main actors, other top-class ones, such as Harry Potter star Brendan Gleeson and Get Out actress Catherine Keener, have joined the cast. We can also look forward to the return of Zazie Beetz as Arthur's neighbor, Sophie. As far as plot is concerned, Joker Folie is about continuing the story of the first part. After being seen in the psychiatric ward at the end, Arthur will get support from Harley Quinn. As in the comics, she will presumably first work as a psychiatrist and later fall in love with her patient Arthur and catch his insanity. The movie will also contain some musical packages, which will make the sequel very different from its forerunner. Until the scheduled theatrical release, Those in charge still have more than a year to give it the final touch. Joker 2 Folie is slated for release on October 4th, 2024. This week, we were swamped with announcements. Which movie and series are you looking forward to the most? Share with us in the comments what you're most excited about and why. We can't wait to hear which releases you're looking forward to the most, and we'll be sure to keep an eye out for them in the future. And if you want, check out our Mad Max Furiosa movie preview, as well as our video about John Wick 4, where we go into more detail about the epic ending and the post-credits scene. Thanks for watching.